I'm Jeremy Haas. We're located in Colby, Wisconsin, in the north central portion of the United States. And we're so south of the Canadian border. And we currently are milking approximately 160 cows on 3 VMS. I did grow up on this farm. I graduated from high school here, and at that time thought that I probably wasn't ever going to dairy farm. I was done with it. It was labor intensive. It was a lot of work growing up and doing that. I went off to school, UW-Platteville, University of Wisconsin-Platteville, got an engineering degree in civil engineering, and worked for a company southern Wisconsin near Madison, Wisconsin, and designed wastewater treatment facilities for municipalities. And I'd done that for, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years, something like that. And at that time, my father gave us a 1-year heads up and just said, in the spring of 2009, cows are gone. If anybody's interested, speak up because the farm's gone. I just knew that there's something tugging at me that if I didn't give it a try, like maybe it would fail, and it'd fail spectacularly, and I was okay with that. But I just needed to give it a try. I bought this family farm from my father in 2009. He's supposedly retired, and I better say this because if any of my siblings ever heard any of this, I'm sure they'd catch me. But no, he didn't really actually retire. He's down here every day, and it's an invaluable lifeline. And I'm so fortunate that I get to work with him. Before we started down the VMS path, or when we started down that, I milked in a tie stall barn 65 cows or something like that, and I did that all by myself. At that time, which seems crazy that it was not even 10 years ago, it was a new technology and there were not that many out there. I mean, you had to drive a ways to find other robotic systems even in operation. We looked at the free flow, we looked at the guided. I was partial to the guided just kind of from the start. I wasn't going to take a step backwards on production or on cows and on that. And I was just kind of drawn towards that guided full system on it. In 2016, we constructed our current robotic facility, so 7 years ago now. And in 2019, we replaced our classics with 300s and added a third one this year. I mean, the classics were a fine machine. They did their job. They needed what they needed to do. I think that the 300s have superior attachment, especially on heifers with high rear udders. I mean, we have so many less attachments. We have so much less issues with that. I think that it, as a result of that, help like cell count issues, help things like that. And that's the cow health, I guess, overall, I would say with that, has been tremendous. I think it was just a little better designed on how to access things and not, like somebody actually who was working on it, like, oh, how are we gonna get to this part? And like, oh, good job, engineer. And I can say that being an engineer, like, oh, stupid engineers. Yes, but superior attachment. The camera, the 3D camera really does a lot. I have zero desire to be 10,000 cows. I have zero desire to be 1,000 cows. Could we do it? Oh, I'm sure we could. I mean, you said like sounds arrogant, but a good dairyman, I think you could manage that. I think we could make that work, but I have no desire to be. It's just, nope. And you talk about doing the deal my way. One of the things that I actually really kind of liked is, I love being a father, and I enjoyed the fact that we could do that, and I could take care of kids 2-3 days a week, all day long until my wife got home at night at 4 o'clock, and then I'd go out and do a couple hours of things, and we'd be back in and have supper at 6. Like, talk about VMS my way. Raising 3 kids like that, I really enjoyed that. So, anyway, random tangent. That to me is still what a family farm is that my kids are out there riding bike. My 2-year-old is throwing a fit in the alley or whatever. I mean, I think that, and that's what the VMS and that's what robotics has allowed us to do, that it allows us to do our way. It allows us to have a quality of life and a lifestyle that I thoroughly enjoy.